let's go to the final question. The third question, which is the longest. And I'm afraid I misinterpret this question into English, but I'll do my best.
Okay.
The question goes, I've once seen an American husband of a YouTuber saying English learners might as well speak with basic vocabularies instead of idioms because them speaking with idioms would sound awkward. I'm wondering if it would sound awkward to the native speakers if we use kick out of that you teach me the other day instead of have fun. Or I'd like to know if kick out of doesn't fit into the category of idioms. Did you get the question?
The problem is when a learner uses language that they've heard, if they hear one time and okay, that's a great expression, I want to use this idiom, and they work really hard to memorize it and great, they feel confident, and then they go out into the real world and just use it, it's very likely that they will use it in the wrong way, right?
Oh, so you basically relate to a American husband of a YouTuber?
Potentially.
Okay.
The way that I encourage my students to think about it is, we've discovered a new expression for you or something like that. Your job is to try and find other examples of that expression being used. You want to search for it, right? This is why consuming content is so important.
Okay.
Because me telling you the expression one time, or you see it in one context from one movie, doesn't give you the picture about when it's used necessarily and all the different situations. But if you see it in 5, 10 different situations, then you can start to piece together all of they say it in this situation. They say it like this, in this kind of response. And then you can feel much more confident about using it. So there's nothing wrong with using idioms per se. It's about having enough evidence to say, yeah, I'm confident this kind of situation, a native speaker would say that.
Okay. So in other words, you recommend that learners should never end English study after learning one example sentence, but they need to go out of their ways to look for other sentences that include the expression they learned from the original first sentence.
That's what I would encourage them to do.
And then consume a lot of content at the same time.
And if it's an expression that's worth learning and worth using, you will start to notice it. I forget what the name of the concept is. I don't know how to pronounce this, but it's called the Baader-Meinhof phenomenon or Baader-Meinhof phenomenon, right? Which is cognitive bias, where if I said to you, yellow car, and it's on your mind, you're much more likely to start seeing yellow cars everywhere you go, despite the fact that you think a yellow car is rare, right? It's very unlikely to see a yellow car. But once it's been pointed out once, you start to see it all the time, right? Or Tesla, like barely anyone has Teslas, but now that I've said that, the next time I'm out on the street, I'm much more likely to notice the Teslas, right? It doesn't mean that there are more Teslas, it just means that I'm noticing them more frequently, right? Because I've been thinking about it. So these kind of expressions, it's the first time, get a kick out of blah, blah, blah. I've never heard this before, very interesting. Well, now that we've noticed it, you're much more likely to pick it up when you're watching movies and things. I see, this is like how they use it. Does that make sense?
Perfect analogy. There are many things that I felt and that I realized from watching a lot of videos in English, including YouTube, Netflix, and Disney. The thing or the phenomenon that really dawns on me, does it make sense if I say it like that? Dawns on me is that the best way so far, among the strategies that I've tried so far, to understand more and more English is to simply consume more and more content. People in the movies speak very fast and from Korean perspective, very ambiguously. But sometimes I understand what they generally speak, although I don't really hear word by word. And the reason being, potential reason being, is I guess because I have encountered this sentence or expression a lot in the past, then I just catch it by listening to just some of them. So I believe the analogy that you brought up right now kind of linked to the experience that I've had. Do you relate to it?
100%. I definitely agree. And you're right. It's a really difficult thing. Me too. I've experienced this where I was watching a Korean drama and I was using subtitles, and I tried to watch the episode first with no subtitles because I want to really force that listening practice in real time. And when there's something that I don't catch, I go back and I turn the subtitles on and I check it. And I was convinced that the actor didn't say what the subtitles said that he did. There are 2 or 3 parts of the sentence that I didn't hear. I couldn't hear it. And I asked my wife, without showing her, listen to this. What does he say? And she of course, repeated exactly as the subtitle said. And he did, in fact, say everything that was written down on the page. I just wasn't ready to hear it. My brain didn't process it fast enough.
I should say I feel a little bit relieved after hearing what you said before. I used to think that many problems occurring while studying English, especially listening to English, only happens to me. For example, the same thing has happened to me a lot. So when I watch Netflix with subtitles, I'm quite sure subtitles are wrong because people in the movies don't really say according to those subtitles. But I'm really happy that also happens to you.
Yeah,
this is a common problem.
Very common.